Hey there friends, Jeff Fritz here, and I'm back with another Ask a Developer video. I'm at TechBash, and I'm here with Jason Gaylord. Jason, it's so good to see you.
Good to see you too, Jeff.
Thanks so much. Now, for folks who don't know who you are, can you give a quick intro?
Sure. My name's Jason Gaylord. I've been involved in the development space for, over 20 years now.
Okay.
I was an MVP previously for 15 years, give or take. Now my role's changed over the the last few years.
Okay.
But I'm still heavily involved in the community. I'm one of the organizers of TechBash.
Terrific.
And really care a lot about the development community. I'm doing more in Azure and more in operations these days than I did in the past, but I still get a chance to open up VS Code every now and then and hack away.
Fantastic. Now, when you think about Azure and VS Code, those are technologies that are moving fast. And when we talk to some of the folks that are speaking at conferences like this, there's all kinds of different ways that we learn and we get the material that we want to formulate into a session that we present. Now, when thinking about how you learn about Azure and the VS Code tools, where do you go online to stay on the cutting edge, to learn and keep your act sharp?
Yeah, so, I mean, of course, the first place I go, outside of things like TechBash and the conferences and stuff, is I tend to like to hop over to the document site over on the Microsoft site and poke around there a little bit. We also, not only do I have some friends that record content for content providers like Pluralsight and LinkedIn Learning, so I have a tendency of going there, diving in a little bit, watching some videos.
Sure.
And then it's just the online community. It's just talking to folks online through various mediums, Slack channels, and other areas.
Interesting. Okay. So when you find this stuff in the documentation, how often do you check back to see if there's new material and find something that you want to keep up on?
So, it really depends on what the content is.
Okay.
In a lot of cases, if it's something I need to care deeply about, a lot of times I'll set up some sort of reminder, or what I'll do is I'll do a sniff on the content, see if it was refreshed, and then come back periodically. In a lot of cases, what I've done is I've actually even set up bots within a Slack channel to notify me, hey, when this RSS feed hits, make a little note here. Drop me a little line, and I'll go check it out.
Oh, interesting. Do you use something like if this then that to do something like that?
So it depends on where I'm getting the information from. In a lot of cases, if it's just an RSS feed, there's apps you can install within a Slack channel. It just pops that information in.
Nice.
But there's lots of different ways I try to do that.
Okay. Do you ever go looking for tutorials or how-tos online?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, this technology landscape has changed so much over the past 20 years. When I first started doing this, we had this application called Visual Internet. That's
oh my goodness.
Outside of Notepad, that's how you wrote, ASP applications.
Right. Not ASP, but ASP.
ASP. Classic ASP. And so, this day and age, as technologies continue to evolve, especially with the Azure stuff and going serverless, things are constantly changing. There's a lot of new features that are coming out constantly. So I have to hop out every now and then because that same process I tried using maybe a year ago no longer is that same process. It's easier, but because you're not as familiar with that particular area, and you have to use some sort of guide to walk you through.
Sure. Oh, very cool. Now, when you look for those guides, when you find content out there, what makes you think, wow, this is really developer friendly? Is it the way they write? Is it
It is somewhat the way they write, especially when they include screenshots that are meaningful and they kind of talk to it in a more meaningful way. Developers these days, they consume content a lot of different ways. Sometimes they're sitting in a car, sometimes they're behind a PC, sometimes I'm not going to say I ever did this, but sometimes you're sitting in a meeting and you have your headset on and you're listening to content instead of really paying
listening to a podcast.
To, what else is going on.
Yeah.
So, and there's of course even streaming.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
I was going to say I think I heard that you do some of that.
A little bit.
So it really depends on kind of the technique of delivering the content on what's really applicable for that.
Very cool. Well, gosh, Jason, thanks so much for taking a few minutes to talk to me.
Thank you.
And,
Thanks for talking to me.
This has been another Ask a Developer video.
Thanks, everyone.